Hi, I'm Megan Smithwick. I've been the facilitator for the Whittlesea Community Garden for the last 4 years.
I'm Amanda Gibson. I'm the project manager of the Blacksmith's Tree.
My name's Shirley Simons. I've lived in Kinglake for 28 years and I've always loved art and craft.
I'm Lee McGill and I'm an artist and community member.
And my name is Barbara Joyce, and I'm an art therapist, and I live here in Strathewen, and we went through that awful firestorm. I embarked on a crazy sort of project. I went to the Strathewen Primary School with a chook for a child who lost his father in the fires, and I said, do you think any of the other children would like one? And the principal said they'd all like one.
The Blacksmith's Tree started 1 week after the Black Saturday fires. We took blacksmiths throughout the fire-affected communities and had them forge leaves, so they brought up their forges and their anvils and everything, and they just forged leaves. And the original idea was just to build a small tree as a gift to the fire-affected communities, and that changed as we travelled through the communities because people wanted to become involved.
Marion was a resident in Strathewen whose house had survived, a miracle, and she has a very generous heart, and she looked around in the middle of the grim, the grey, and decided that it needed something to uplift us and the area. So she opened her house up once a week and invited anybody who wanted to come. So we'd go up there once a week and we would start making our letterboxes.
This shed was built for the community, which was set up here for people who lost their houses in the fire. They had a small community here, and the shed was part of it. So when the village folded, when they went back to doing what they were doing before the fires, the shed was vacant, and one of the options was to have it as a men's shed or as an arts precinct. And the men's shed won out. We're glad about that.
Yeah, we're pretty arty too.
We love to come up here to craft on a Friday afternoon, especially in the wintertime because it's so lovely and cosy, and we sit around and chat to each other and talk about craft and almost inspire each other to do different things, don't we, Anne? Yeah.
Big girls show and tell.
That's exactly right.
Most blokes actually attend for the choir that we've got running.
We came to the garden, my husband and I, to just do an activity to start with and meet people because we're very isolated, not knowing anybody. And I've been enjoying this because it's just different and we've got a great group of friends.
Go tell it on the mountain, over the hills and everywhere. Go tell it on the mountain, to let my people go.
I just really feel that creativity is such a beautiful expressive means when you're trying to recover from trauma.
It gives us that sense of meaning and hope in times of great distress.
It's helping a lot. There's people here that have been through the fires, people that have lost people, and they're coming here and they're just doing things that remind them of the person as well, or what they've lost. They're putting it down on mosaic.
If you look around, there's tiles that reference Black Saturday as well, so they didn't necessarily have to talk about it, they could just create, and it was up to them what they did and what they made.
You think about nice things all the time with art and craft. You just do. You can't help yourself. It just is. You just keep away from the mundane. That's all.
When people have gone through trauma, it's really lovely to work with softer colour, softer things like wool and fibre, and felting was great.
I love colour. I love texture. Even if I just sit there stroking a piece of silk or velvet,
Just touching
something,
things.
you know, it just feels nice.
Yeah.
It's one of those things that we've got the core of a group of guys that enjoy one another's company, and creatively through the choir, of course, it's been guys have found voice that they thought they didn't have.
It just gives you opportunities that you wouldn't necessarily have, and it reaches out to the wider community. So the youth, the older generation, the schools, primary schools, and everyone can collaborate and come together. It's a really nice sense of community. Yeah.
We've built a stronger community through that project, really, because people know each other better. They can meet in other situations and talk and feel bonded.
The immediate benefit for what we're doing is the community and the community involvement or engagement, and we're hoping to attract men to our choir. We see this as a way of bringing the community together.
The interaction between the different groups of people, like the students working with the aged care residents, has huge benefits, you know, not necessarily directly from the art, but it comes out of the art project they've done together.
We're not critical of each other's work or anything like that. We just all sit around and just talk and just do things together.
And if you are having a problem with a
Nobody's
particular
critical,
piece
I like
of
that.
work, you can bring it in and say, I can't work out how to do this next bit.
Yeah.
And there will be bound to be somebody here who can help.
The networking and talking to people has made it happen. We've created all different projects in different areas doing different things, but it's only because someone's had an idea and somebody else knows how to make it happen, and somebody's got the equipment or the space.
When you get together and you compare methods and ways of doing things, you know, you can grow a project together and you can grow together.
Not everybody was a mosaic. I mean, I had never done any mosaics before I'd been up to Marion's. There were plenty of people like that. It didn't matter, really. I think you do have to say, just give it a go.
Sometimes you've got to be a bit bold, and even if it seems ridiculous, just give it a go.
I'd just say it's really easy to be involved. It's just about inclusion, and you can't really go wrong with art.
Well, I'd turn around and say that they should come down and give it a try, because these guys tried for over 8 months to get me to come down and start singing. And every time it come time, I always had a different excuse of why I wouldn't be coming down here to sing. And then all of a sudden I realised that you never know if you don't have a go.
And if you do something for yourself, you don't have to show anyone. That's where the benefit is. And before you know it, people want to see it anyway, and you want to show people.
Well, I think everybody can benefit from art and creativity, even if they think they don't. I think it's around us all the time.
If you took art and creativity out of the world, I don't think we'd last very long. Art and creativity is everywhere, so not just in a recovery aspect, but everywhere we look.
At this garden, I think absolutely everyone can benefit. As Sarah said, we've had people from the nursing home come down, both primary schools, the high school students. We hold a lot of weekend workshops where they're just open to public, and, you know, every man and his dog comes along to get involved.
Young, old. I'm really old. These girls are young.
Oh, thank
Some
you.
of them are middling. But yes, everybody. Gosh, yes.
There's no restrictions. It doesn't matter what disability you've got, whether, you know, it's physical, psychological. It's helpful.
There's a lot of laughing, and that can only be good.
I remember Michael Lunig saying, you know, we all start out creative, naturally playful. You know, where does it go? How did we lose it? You know, but I really feel it's still there, deep down, and people just need to give it a go.
Finding the things that give you joy, that bring you joy. And for me, it was singing.
Try that.
I want to sing, sing, sing. I want to dance, dance, dance.
All of of us have been working in the post-bushfire environment, particularly after Black Saturday.
I've had the absolute privilege of working with so many community members, with artists, with people working in the arts policy area. The amazing ways that they bring artistic and creative approaches to disaster recovery.
So Creative Conversations is a place, hopefully, where the people doing incredible, wonderful work from different spheres can get to come together and see each other's work.
3 years after the fires, we recognised that there was still a need in the community for, people still were suffering, and people still felt the need to connect with those that were suffering and to do something. People still really felt the need to contribute.
And having worked in trauma settings and in palliative care, I've learned from working with people that there is an inherent healing capacity that is opened up when we make art.
Our goalpost today with this presentation is for your take-home message to be about trauma response and growth possibility, and realising that within trauma, growth possibility is very real. And we're very keen to start mainstreaming the use of the term post-traumatic growth.
So since about the 1990s, the concept of post-traumatic growth has been around, and it's been, ironically in a sense for the name that it is, much more prevalent in the health arena. So recognising health crises and how people frequently report positive transformations.
I think all of us here we know in our bones what's important in terms of the arts and how important the arts are for community, for senses of belonging, for senses of meaning making and purpose in life. We also may know that art has helped us actually cope.
When we came up with Creative Conversations, it was about working together. There's always people in the community that you can pull in to help out with, and if suddenly you had an organic group that's created and you're now starting to worry that maybe there are people that need a bit of extra help, bring a social worker in, bring a counsellor in, go get an OT from the health service.
And get it out there, whatever you feel like you want to do, and it'll happen.
Thank you.
Just piecing broken pieces together again and creating an object of beauty. And it was just such a very healing thing.
6 years later, we're on fire, I mean, we've been burnt, but now we're on fire.